tonight on Six Ed World.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever what?
Six Ed Podcast.
Did you forget the name?
Nah.
Okay, so this is a secret. We have to come clean. This is actually the second one, but
oh my god.
Tell
me about it.
Okay, do not scream.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, so the first one we did, after we checked it, there was no audio, and literally I cried.
I know, we were so upset about it. So fucking upset.
It was we stayed until 3 a.m. and I was just beyond upset. But
it took us a couple hours or something like that.
For what?
To do the actual.
Yes.
Just to talk about it.
Yeah,
to film it. And then, sorry about that.
Stop.
I'm not even saying sorry about that.
Stop.
Guys. Okay.
Bumping into things.
I moved too much.
So yeah, this is the second one, but it's the first, okay? Just whatever. Getting that out of the way. So I just want to explain really quick about how we already had a Six Sad podcast on my main channel, California Love 84. But let me back up. The reason we have the podcast at all is because my cousin Vanessa, she was like, let's do a podcast. And I was like,
and bitch moved.
Oh yeah, she did move.
It wasn't her fault.
Stop yelling.
I think no.
Anyways, so she moved and I had to stop it because she was my partner in crime. We started together. So anyway, and the reason why I named it Six Sad Podcast is because of Daria, there you go, from the 90s. And but anyway, now fast forward to now,
we just
we wanted to, we were we need to just do one similar topic,
yeah,
which is crime, true crime, aliens, what else, cults,
creepy stuff or weird anything,
just anything that has to do with conspiracy theories, all that stuff. And so
we're sickly into that stuff, super sickly into that stuff. We're documentary nerds.
We stay up for I'll be like, oh my god, Myra, real quick, let me just tell you, I saw this thing on Netflix about this murder thing, and then it'll be next thing you know, it'll be 4 a.m. and
she'll be or I'll be either her and me be oh, I have to tell you something, just 5 minutes, cut 10 million hours fucking later, we're yo, it's about to be morning, let's go to sleep so we can fucking wake up and watch another documentary about murder and shit.
Basically, we were just dude, let's just do the podcast about that, since Vanna can't, she moved all the way across the country. Sorry, the camera cut out. Anyways, that's probably gonna happen from time to time. Anyway, so she moved, and then I was no, but I don't want the podcast to go away, so I was basically let's continue it with this type of subject, because
this is stuff we like. So she thought, why don't we do it together? And I was all right, for sure.
And I thought my idea was to move it to a separate channel, because we have done paranormal stuff on my main California Love 84 channel. We've done I've done true crime videos, I've done all that stuff, but people there don't really care about that stuff. And I was why are we putting those videos there, basically essentially for them to die there?
They don't do very well.
And so we're we need to gather a whole new community that is into this stuff, and that way all the videos on their feed are gonna be about true crime. And
so if you guys are creeps like us, come join us.
Subscribe basically is what we're saying.
Subscribe, bitches.
And that way, I don't know. That way, what? I don't know. So anyways, if all that sounded good to you, hey, give this a thumbs up, because we just started, and that'll let us know that, this is a good idea. I'm with you guys. Anyway.
And I'll try my hardest to do more videos.
You better, because this isn't my channel. This is our
This is both of our channel, bitches.
Because Six Sad Podcast, we rebranded.
Yeah.
And we rebranded. Okay.
I'm not gonna be. I won't do this anymore.
Let's not put up any fronts here. We're not no professional Kendall Ray with her
no
expensive podcast set.
And not to mention,
types of things are gonna happen.
bit of a klutz. Like, I'm always like titter-tottering. So, but I will try my best. I swear, I don't want to annoy you guys. I really don't. Yeah.
So, but whatever. This is just us. Like I said, we're not Kendori and her husband. Yeah. So let's get on the subject at hand. Roanoke.
Yeah. How many? I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of Roanoke. Most of you guys, if you haven't,
you have to have heard it from American Horror Story.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't watch that show, but
it's in the mainstream. At least from the mainstream, you guys have probably heard of it.
That Roanoke American Horror Story, I can't remember what it was called. It was so bad that like it was kind of good for me. I don't know, it was like bad but good. And I don't know if you remember, but one of my wives, Lady Gaga, was in it.
I was like,
she was like, oh, I have it here. I have it written down.
Dude, I watched that whole thing. I don't even fucking remember that she was in it.
She was an ancient witch.
I have a
She had rotten ass teeth, memory. And I still thought she was hot with her rotten teeth.
What desperate? Hell yeah. She's female starved. I'm male stuffed. What's that? I said stuffed.
So let's get on to what we really are here for, the real story. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this written down here because I cannot remember these type of like coordinates and such. It says here Roanoke Island is an island in Dare County on the outer banks of North Carolina, but I believe it was not North Carolina then. It was like named something else, or I don't know. Dude, don't even quote me. This is not the podcast to be like,
yeah, we're not technical. Yeah.
Anyway, so
like I had this story really. I had it. No, it's nothing about that, but I had it totally memorized because like. When she told me we were gonna do it, like I already know like a little bit about it, but I was like I went into full research mode like a long time ago, and this bitch just did it like yesterday. I'm like waiting, and I'm like, dude,
I forgot we can't yell.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Like I had the memory like on lock, dude, and then I just now since she took for fucking ever, I forgot because she never would do her fucking homework.
Can I say why though? Like I have other channels, man.
Oh, that's true.
I do so like my whole week is like taken up by like editing, and filming, and all this stuff.
It's harder than you guys look. Not as much for me than it looks. Yeah. But her, like, she doesn't even have, like, a day off. It's, like, editing, filming for 4 freaking channels. Like, the editing alone takes, like, forever. Yeah. Like, she'll show me, like, a little clip. I'm like, bitch, you crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, but we're off topic.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, I do have a new ASMR channel, so.
Oh, yeah. You guys, go check it out. I'm not in it, but this bitch is.
But anyways, okay. So, that's why I have 4 channels. That's why she said 4 channels.
Yes.
Anyway, so it was named after the historical Roanoke, Carolina, Algonquian people who inhabited the area in the 16th century at the time of English exploration. That was straight from Wikipedia, so shout out.
Way back. She went way back in the research. I started a little late.
The tone.
No, yeah, I know.
Like, can I just like? I'm sorry, but I'm about to drag BuzzFeed. I don't like BuzzFeed, but
oh Lord, I saw the Roanoke.
Oh thing. God, it was so stupid. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry, but they literally that was what I was gonna say right now. Is that I tried to watch that video just for like extra info, whatever.
I did
too.
They
skipped over the most important and gigantic chunks of the story, and I'm like, I watched it for like 3 minutes. I'm like, I knew I was avoiding this for a reason.
I took 2 things out of it, and it was like the dumb things. Or we'll get to it.
Stupid. Anyways,
just to laugh.
Like, not that we're freaking professional.
Oh, like no.
But I mean, there was chunks missing. That I'm like, well, this is relevant. Like, anyways, before the Pilgrims, like, and all that shit, the first, England's first attempt to like colonize America was basically this Roanoke thing. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth wanted a colony there, and that just don't even get me started on colonizing and all that shit. That makes me so mad. Like, bitch, it's like if somebody went to your house and was like, knock knock, I'm gonna live here now. Yeah, it's like, no, bitch, I'm already living here. Like, the Native Americans, like, I'm so sorry, sweeties, like, this is a disgusting thing. But anyways, this is not what it's for. So we're just gonna. I'm gonna try my best to ignore that.
Story, yeah. But just putting it out there.
So I don't even celebrate. What is it? Columbus Day. It's like, dude, that's a serial
who
killer.
Does anymore these days?
I celebrate Native American.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they named it, but I celebrate that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah, let's do Hitler Day then. Hell no. Anyway, so off topic. So what happened was, do you have anything, or did I start way too early?
I don't know how much before that you have. I just started previous to the Roanoke in 1585. They tried to do a colony there.
Yeah, so it's...
but they received harsh treatment, obviously, by the Native Americans because they're like, bitch, this is my house. Get the fuck out.
Okay, I didn't get... is that what they did? Because if they did, kudos.
That colony, they did that.
Oh, that particular first attempt.
Yeah, the first attempt. I think there was like a couple before that. They retrieved back to England because they were scared shitless.
Nice.
But they were so intent into coming back and funding another one that they came back in 1587, which is Roanoke.
Okay, right here I have in 1585.
That was the one prior to Roanoke.
Let me just back it up. A guy, Richard Grenville or something like that.
Back it up. Sorry.
He got there and he explored the surrounding villages, which was one of them was the now I have to read it again. Aquascagok. Dude, I'm so unseasoned right now. Aquascagok.
All these years, bitch, you thought you was seasoned.
Oh my!
Look at this unseasoned bitch.
So, what happened with the Richard Grenville, whatever? He had like a silver cup or whatever, and it went missing one day because he's a dumbass, and he just blamed it on the natives, and he's just like, them bitches took my cup, which is like, bitch, your cup's probably ugly, like nobody wants your little cheap cup. But
yeah, they did do that.
He thought that they took it, so he and his men went and they like burned down. I think they burned down the.
He ended up killing the king of the tribe.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, I think you're starting off wrong. Get the fuck out.
Over a cup that was probably looked like it was thrifted.
Yeah,
that doesn't exist, but Anyways. So basically you skipped ahead, but
I'm sorry about that.
After 3 months, he fucking went back to England like to get supplies, but he left like 100 men there. So he left Ralph Lane in charge, and he was told like, oh, scout the land, and that way you couldn't just get supplies, whatever, and like he was told get supplies and survive the winter. Okay, he had one job. That was it. Like, just try to survive and get supplies. But they didn't know that like Mother Nature was gonna be like extra brutal that year, and winter just fucking did what is that called? Frost bit his asshole, his whole men's asshole. And
it fell off. And the colonists ate it for dinner.
No.
I'm sorry.
I know, but just some people probably think it's true. No, I'm just, but literally, like, it was too cold. Okay, so what did they have to do? What? Just take a guess. They had to crawl back to the Native Americans, and they had asked for help. Of course, they gave them help, what they could, which is like, wow, you are more holy than I, because I'd be like, go fuck yourself all the way back to England, bitch.
Yeah.
So, but like, let me see.
Probably didn't know their evil plans that they had yet.
So, this is where the Wingina, the chief of the Secotan natives, I'm sorry, they got scared that like the English people were gonna like deplete them, all their supplies. So like they did, like I said, they did give them some stuff, some food and all that stuff, but they're just like, dude, I hate this mic. They're just like, we can't give you like everything, man. Like, chill, you know, like. So they like, I think they left is what happened, or what happened.
I don't know. You went way back than I did, so I don't know anything about this.
They moved off the island because Roanoke is an island. I don't know if I said that, but and they left the colonists by themselves. You know, it's like if they left us. Like, imagine if we went camping. Yeah. And then everybody left them like, you guys have to stay and survive. I'd be like,
we literally did that when we went to the Redwoods. We were like, imagine if this was us, like, we had to colonize in the middle of here and like Native Americans were going to be and stuff.
We hiked for like 45 minutes and we're like,
and I was leaving. Like, I not even that. I think I was like 20 minutes in and I was like, y'all guys, this isn't going to work. I'm turning back.
Especially because like Myra, like she can't like walk that much. She has like arthritis and shit. So we just had to like, but the thing is, it's like, yeah, sure, you have arthritis, but I feel like I was going to quit before you. But anyways.
I only fuck with my arthritis to party.
Anyway.
Not to hike. Fuck hiking.
Well, yeah, so they were all military men and like they weren't used to like just like surviving off of the like legit ass land, like just the land and like no one around. They were used to going to like shops or whatever ye old shop, whatever it was called back then. Yeah, it is. Okay. And because like I said, they're military men. They don't like rough it.
They're not like farmers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially because it was like a frozen freaking tundra. Like, you can't even, like, a farmer can't do nothing with that shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, is there anything you want to add, or I'm still too back?
You went way too back.
I'm just trying. It's just like I said. I'm trying to set the scene here. Like, BuzzFeed just jumped in.
That's why I'm not like saying anything. Not just because I'm gonna sit here the whole time.
But anyways, in the end, they did end up surviving the winter and all that, but like they had to do extreme stuff like eat their own dogs, which when I like learned about that, I was devastated because I'm a huge animal lover and I can't even think about that. But
I don't like that stuff.
I know. And so basically they were just like left just angry that the natives had left them, and it's like, bitch, they're not here to babysit. Like, I'm sorry, they're not like
they're like fending for their own selves and their own family and
yeah, like, dude,
tribes,
it's winter you know? Is coming, winter is here.
Like their tribes would purposefully be really small so that they could survive, so they couldn't take extra. They 100 and plus people to them was like a million people. Like, they were like small little tribes,
and it's like they didn't know your asses were coming to like infiltrate and take over. Like, sorry, you know. So basically, they were looking for revenge. Like, they're like, I'm pissed that they didn't take care of me like little babies. And it says here that in 1586, they went to Chief Wingina's new village and acted, you know, like they were gonna like negotiate peace, like we're gonna like peace and whatever. I don't know how they did it back then. But Ralph Lane, he had like a code word. Like, he went in there with a plan and he had a code word, and it was Christ our victory. And that was a signal for his men to attack the natives. And what Myra was saying earlier is they shot and beheaded Chief Wingina of the, you know, that native tribe, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, you can't just do that.
Yeah, like,
and that's
feed me. Like,
why they deserved harsh treatment by the Native Americans, not because they didn't welcome them and try to help them at first. It's like, you can't come over here, like, set up camp in my house and then kill my king. Like, get the fuck out.
It's like, if you want food, you should have thought of that. Maybe your little baby ass should have brought your mom's titty over from England.
Yeah.
And maybe you could have had some of that, but you didn't think of that, did you?
No.
You know, so anyway, days later, Sir Francis Drake arrived, like, just to check up on him, just to see, like, you know, how they were, like, holding up or whatever. And, like, he found them on, like, the verge of war. Like, it was bad. It was about to be a full-blown war. Like, I was going to say World War III, but No. And then like Richard Grenville or whatever his name is, Greenville, whatever. Still, he hadn't come back with supplies. Still, like, I don't know what he was doing. He's taking his sweet time. Like, are you Richard Grenville? Because Myra takes her time for everything.
Oh,
if I'd be like, Myra, we're gonna starve, so hurry up, go back to England and come back with supplies. Dude, you won't see her for 30 years.
Never.
So the pussies basically got a ride back to England with Sir Francis Drake, because they just couldn't handle it anymore. They're like, bitch, this bitch isn't coming.
They're not about that G life.
No. So, but within a week, Richard Grenville, he finally arrived. Like, within a week after had given up. They're like, he's not coming. Well, he came like a week later. And he found no one because, they all freaking skedaddled back to England. But he knew that, like, the Queen Elizabeth, she wanted a colony. She wanted a colony in the New World, and that was, like, her little thing. She wanted it, like, it's like, again, you how are you so entitled, my God, that you can just be like, I want a land over there. It's, it's already taken, dumbass. Bitch. Basically, he brought back that message, like, she still wants to colonize this place. So he's like, 15 of you guys, like, have to stay. And, but anyway, so they stayed. And, are you still not up to where I'm at? I went too deep?
I'm at 1585. When the colony right before Roanoke.
Okay, well,
I don't know where you're at.
Back in England, the Queen, like, she, let me see. I think I already said this part. So in May of 1587, since she still wanted a colony, the Queen sent Walter Raleigh. Raleigh?
Oh, yeah. Raleigh. I heard about that guy, so I know I'm around there.
This is the main people, right? This is the Roanoke colony right here.
No, that's the night. This is 1585. He's the one that was prior to Roanoke.
And stupid.
Roanoke was John White.
Oh, but okay. Anyway, so she sent Walter Raleigh and 117 men, women, and children. That is what it is. That's the Roanoke colony. It says
what year?
1587.
Okay, yeah, it was 1580. Okay.
Or maybe I got the numbers wrong.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, that John White was made governor.
Okay,
yeah, so probably. Sorry. That was the next thing.
But it was around 20 families total. It was the colony, the Roanoke colony. It was made up of.
I've not been talking.
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying because you skipped ahead. I still wanted to get that little part in.
Okay.
A little extra part in. And it was people that, like, they somehow, like, they weren't related exactly, but they, like, knew each other. It was like this, 20 families. And they were all promised 500 acres of land. So they're like, hell yeah. And these people were already, like, well off. And they were just like, come on, like, we'll give you, like, 500 acres of land each. Like, so they're like, sweet, man. So then, yeah, John White was made governor. Go ahead, take it away.
Oh, God. We're just both going to talk about it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's the part that you were talking about, the governor.
Yeah,
part.
He was...
I sense tension. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Dude, we're new at this. Like, I'm sorry if we suck, but...
It's because I thought that the reason I had said that is because I thought that they went with John White, but I do remember the name Raleigh. I do remember that. I wanted to say really... He's the one that sent them, huh? He's the one that sent them.
Dude, I can't...
And John White was the one that went and, he was like the main guy in Roanoke. They made him the governor. Yeah. And his daughter, Eleanor White Dare, yeah.
And also because he had experience being there before. John White, he had already been there.
Yeah,
so he had experience. They're like, let's make him the head of household, like Big Brother, the American version.
Yeah.
P.S. I hate the American version of Big Brother. I love the UK one.
I did too. What's up,
I hate that they canceled it, and I'm really upset. Anyways, long live Emma Willis.
I was just saying, they're gonna bring that shit back.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't care if it's fake.
Yeah, I don't care. It's stupid, but I love it.
Anyways, I was just saying that his daughter actually was the first
Well, no, not his daughter.
His daughter gave birth
Okay.
to the first
I sense tension again.
baby. Like, she doesn't even know what I'm saying. And it's like,
his daughter was the first. That's what you said.
The first woman that gave birth to the first baby.
We're arguing on camera, but I'm just saying. You said his daughter was the first, and I just thought you were going to say something else.
Okay, so gave to the first baby girl, Virginia White or Dare, I forgot. Virginia Dare, I believe. Was the first
she was
English
like 6 months
baby
pregnant when they sailed over.
Yeah, to be born.
Dude, I ain't trying to be pregnant.
The Americas. I'm not trying to be pregnant and take a 3-year boat.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking voyage.
I'm not trying to be pregnant at all and be on a freaking boat.
I know, dude. I know about this shit.
So yeah, she did give birth to the first baby, which her name was
Virginia Dare.
Yeah, Virginia Dare. So they were all, like I said, they were all promised like hella land to colonize America. So
once they got there, they were supposed to be supplied every year. Like, the English were supposed to like come over, resupply them, but after the first month, they actually made John White go back to England because that's how harsh it was. Not to mention, supposedly in that year, it was supposed to be like the worst drought that had ever been in 300 years.
I didn't read
I believe so.
That.
I may be completely wrong, but I believe it was like the first drought in 300 years was in that time. But that hadn't happened when John White went back, but they still were like running out of supplies. So he went back. Just
to go back a little bit, the plan was, and here I have to read because it's like I don't want to get this wrong, was to go pick up the 15 men left by Grenville? Was that his name? Whatever. The year prior. Like, remember a little bit ago, they left 15 men. And then they were going to head to north to Chesapeake Bay. The water over there was like, deeper or whatever, and it was like more fish and all that stuff. Because the water at Roanoke was like not that good for like fishing or whatever. It was like shallow. But when they arrived at Roanoke to pick up the 15 men, they found a skeleton and their like fort or whatever was destroyed. And the captain of that ship that was like dropping off all the colonists was like, he was in a hurry. He was trying to be like a pirate. I don't know where, but like he's trying to like, get his like pirate on. And he was trying to look for like Spanish ships to like get all the gold or whatever coins, I don't know, whatever they may have. And he was like, dude, I gotta go. Like, I don't have time to be dropping you guys off all the way to Chesapeake Bay. I have to leave. So you guys are, basically he made him get off at Roanoke. But they, like, not knowing all the conflict with the like natives and the like the 15, so in like, to make matters worse, it was too late in the season for the colonists to like do like crops or whatever, like plant stuff for food. And then a few weeks after they landed at Roanoke, one of the colonists was killed by a native while he was fishing. So that like made the colonists really scared to like wander off. They're just like kind of trying to keep within the camp and all that. But Governor White made friends with one of the natives, and his name was Manteo. And Manteo had actually traveled back to England 2 years earlier with I think it was the previous colonists. So, he kind of had, he kind of could be in the middle.
Yeah, he went actually like 3 times to England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Came back actually with John White.
That's gutsy because, like, think about it. They didn't know who they were or what it was. Like, for all they know, they're going to another planet.
I didn't even know that Native Americans had gone to England before they came. I thought they were like, who are these people? I didn't know that an actual Native American had gone to England before. I read all of this. So
I knew it happened, but like late. I thought it was like later on. Like
obviously. I thought like English that they first saw them in their land. No Native American had ever been over there till like later. Yeah.
So.
He came back with him in the last time he came back with him in 1587 when they went to Roanoke.
So back here, he lived in what's his name? Manteo.
Mm-hmm.
He lived in a neighboring island called Croatan.
Which we should say.
Two things. If you saw American Horror Story, then you might remember, Croatoan. They kept saying Croatoan. That's all they ever said. They'd never said Croatan.
Yeah, and I was going to ask her, I was like, dude, am I crazy? But when I'm researching this, I hear Croatan or Croatone. Yeah, Croatone.
Croat.
Because I remember it sounded like a toe.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, they were saying Croatone. And I was like, Croatone. I was like, am I crazy? But in American Horror Story, they were saying Croatoan. I was like, yeah. But maybe I'm just crazy because I have a horrible memory. But apparently not, because she said she heard that too. And they keep going back and forth, so we don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like more educated than us, please feel free to like
explain
it in the comments, like why they're using two words. But it seems like it's just the two words that they keep using.
Yeah.
So anyways, Manteo he's like the middleman, like I said, and like between the English and the natives. And so he arranged a meeting on August 6th so that they could try and make peace like between each other, because of the like war that had just like gone on. But August 6th came and went, okay, and like the native people, they didn't show up. So the like white people, they took that as a sign that like the natives just like wanted war, which is like, how do you get that? Like, dude, maybe they couldn't make it. Maybe they had other shit to do. Maybe they just didn't feel like meeting up. But they're just like, they didn't show up. They want war. Like, they're so extreme,
Yeah.
So in the middle of the night, these freaking idiots attacked like the first village they came across. They just attacked it, burned it down to the ground, and guess what? It was the wrong freaking tribe. That wasn't the tribe that they were, the tribe that they were trying to get peace with. They burned down some other tribe that had nothing to do with this peace treaty they wanted. They burned like the wrong tribe, but somehow like Manteo, since he was like the peacemaker, he like convinced the Croatans, the Croatan tribe,
Croatoan,
that the English had like made a mistake. He must have some good skills, because I'd be like, bitch, they burnt everything I owned.
Yeah.
But he convinced them that, they made a mistake, you guys. Like, meanwhile, John White's daughter, Eleanor Dare, gave birth to a baby girl, because remember, she was 6 months pregnant when they arrived. Anyways, a few days after the baby was born, that's when the colonists voted for John White to go back like to England, but it's not clear if the colonists wanted him to go back, like just cause, like, oh yeah, go get supplies, like we vote you to go because you're the one that's gonna go and come back the fastest, or because they didn't like John because he was like too buddy with the natives. Like, they didn't like that for some reason, it's like, dude, that's kind of saving your life right now. But
bad move though.
So anyways, either way, John White said in a journal that he didn't want to go. Obviously, he has his daughter, his grandchild.
Yeah, like his family was there.
But since the colony, he said that like since the colony insisted on him going, he went. And in August 27th of 1587, he set sail back to England. But before he left, now this is very important here. Before he left, he told the colonists that if for like whatever reason, like if they had to, like, if for whatever reason they had to leave that area, it says here to leave, he wanted them to leave a sign of where they were going.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a inner land to go inward. There was a meeting place inward.
I didn't see that part, but if you did, go ahead.
Yeah, and or if they left without their will, they were supposed to leave like these star thing. It was like,
yeah, that was if like he basically was like, if you guys are gonna leave like the name of the place, but if you're leaving
against your
will or something crazy bad happened, put a cross on top of the name where you're going to. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was like a little sign.
It was a cross is what it was. And so with that, like, he left, and that is the last time that anyone was ever going to see the colonists alive.
Yes, because unfortunately, when he went back, he was planning to come right back with the supplies. But unfortunately, when he got there, the Anglo-Spanish War was going on, and his ship wasn't his privately owned ship. That ship was the country's, and the country needed all the ships.
He was leasing
for war. Yes. He wasn't as important as he was making it out to seem. But anyways, so it made it impossible for him to come right back with the supplies. Like, he wanted to come back and give the supplies, but the Spanish were like quite strong.
They were in the thick of it.
Yeah, and he was just stranded over there in England.
Yeah.
No way of coming back. Yeah, so it took him 3 years. He comes back in 1590.
And he tried coming back a couple times, but it just couldn't.
Yeah,
in 1590.
Oh yeah, and he tried to make multiple trips to the Croton, but it was like there was a lot of, I think he said like bad weather.
Like, can you imagine, like, you leave everyone behind, you can't text them, you can't email them, like, is like, abuelita okay, like nothing.
Yeah,
like
nothing,
you just they nothing. And imagine, that's wild. For 3 years, like you said.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my God, what are they thinking? Like, are they thinking that I'm just I abandoned them? I don't care. I'm staying over here, die. Like, that's what I would be thinking. I could, like, not live.
I'll be like,
that's awful.
I'll be like, dude, just know that, like, if I'm not back, I don't know what happened, but my plans are to come back. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, though. Maybe he did tell him that.
Yeah, maybe he did.
But then, in the summer of 1590, do you have that part? By the way, only 1590s kids will remember that. Sorry, you don't know that mean? Only true 1590s kids will remember this part. So John finally arrived at Roanoke. Anyway, so he got off the boat with the search party that he had brought with him, and there was no one there. All he found was, like, footprints in the sand, but it was like with no shoes. It was like bare. Not the animal, but like bare feet. And he knew that, like, hey, wait, like, my people, like, they wear shoes. And he was, like, worried that, like, it was just, like, Native American prints.
All I know is, like, when they got to the colony,
it was
they found him, and the men he was with just found the settlement. Like, it seemed like there had been no like fight or nothing. Like, the settlement was, like, neatly built down.
Or they had, like, taken it apart.
Yeah, taken it apart, like, very neatly.
But that's the part I don't understand. Did they take it apart and leave it there, or did they take it apart and take it with them?
It was there. To me, it sounded like the settlement was taken apart and it was left there very neatly.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess somebody can tell us, because I literally did.
Yeah.
It didn't say. It just didn't say.
And then.
But either way, it was just very, like, they took their time. It seemed like they had taken their time to.
Yeah.
Undo
that's
the
why
houses
there's so many, like, question about this. You guys will see. Because immediately you could be like, oh, the Native American came and killed them.
Yeah, because it was like, burnt down and torn apart.
But, like, you know, it's not like these days where it's like, oh my God, we killed somebody. Let's go hide the body in a shallow grave. Like, they didn't give a fuck back then. They just slaughter you and leave you there.
Yeah,
but there was no slaughterment. There was everything was neat except for there was one skull. Is that what you got to? That's when they found the one skull and then the carved out.
I'm not.
Unless you have something before that, because
I don't know if I don't know if I wrote anything about a skull, but I did. They did find a skull there.
Yeah, they found one skull, and then obviously the word
on a post
Croatoan, and then on a tree
Croatoan,
and then on a tree crow, which I have theories about that.
CRO. Like my thing is like, why not write like a full note? Like, a bitch, like, carve it out. Like, a bitch, like, we're going to move over there. Like, it's hella more lit over there.
I think what happened.
Because there's probably no time, right?
Yes. And then the people be like, oh, like one of them said Croatoan, one said crow. I'm like, hello. Like,
I didn't have time, huh?
Yeah. It was probably a person that was like, I'm going to try to, I don't have time, so I'm just going to write Croatoan so they can go to Croatoan.
Yeah.
And so apparently probably when they were writing, like they were probably trying to write it as much as they can so that somebody would find it. And in the second attempt, when they were trying to write it halfway crow, they probably were like, fuck, they were either gotten or they had to run out of there because they were in danger or something, and they weren't able to complete the second Croatoan.
Yeah, or maybe like, yeah, sure, yes. Or they can maybe be like, oh, I don't know how to spell it.
Well, they already spelled it in the post-Croatoan.
Yeah, but maybe the other person's like, let me write one too. And he's like, fuck, I don't know how to spell it.
I think it was like the same
I'm just
person.
Throwing out another,
that's
if
true.
If it was me, I'd be like, actually, I don't know how to spell that. I'm just going to walk away from this tree.
But you're not going to just write crow.
I know.
At least towing, like, try to name it. I think midways, they were just like, they couldn't finish the end of that.
Trying to throw another alternative. But anyways, John White, that's his name, right?
Yeah, John White.
He took that as a good sign. He's like, they probably went with the friendly Croatoan
because they were friendly. That's where Manteo was.
Yeah, and he also thought it was like a good sign because he told the colonists if they were gonna leave, if they were under attack or something, to put a little cross on top of the name.
But there was nothing.
Yeah, there was no cross.
So it gives you like the idea, like if you had time to write Croatoan, wouldn't you have written the cross if you were in danger? Have time to write a cross if you were in danger.
But there was no cross.
That's why it's conflicting.
So he's like, I know, but he in his mind he's like, oh, okay, well this looks a little weird, but hey, there's no cross. I told him to write a cross if it was bad. Yeah. So they didn't, and
they also thought it could have been the Croatoan saying like, hey bitches, like this is our land, like don't mess with us, like don't mess with us. This is Croatoan.
True, that's another.
That was a thing, but I'm leaning more towards that it was an English person trying to write it fast. But you guys can all like think your own thoughts and theories.
So another thing they found was 5 chests that were hidden in the woods. Now this contained books and papers and other items, but none of it contained any information like as to like where they were, like, you know what I mean? But John again took that as a good sign because he's like, oh well, maybe they left this stuff here and they're gonna come back for it. But again, it could be looked at as like, book, let's leave. Yeah. And they just left that stuff in a hurry or whatever, but he was taking it in a good way. He's like, oh, they're gonna come back for this, and all that stuff. And this is John wrote in his journal that he said that many things inside of the chest were, in his words, spoiled and broken. I believe the word spoiled doesn't mean like there was food. I think it's just like they were just
ruined.
Ruined. There was covers torn off books, he said, and pictures ruined from the rain, and that his armor had like rust on it and stuff. So that right there, it's like rust. Like, to me, it's like, well, has it been there for a long ass time? Because he was gone for 3 years. So like in my mind, I'm like, well, did they never come back for that stuff? No. But he nonetheless, like, he took comfort in it. He's like, oh, like, he's probably in denial. Yeah. Like, he's probably like, oh, like, yeah, it's, they're gonna come back for it. And he thought like, oh, they're safe with the Croatoans, John and his men went back to the ship and they planned to sail back to Croton the next day.
That's when the weather supposedly got bad and he couldn't like go.
Yeah, the weather that stopped them, and that's the first thing that stopped them, the weather. And then again, this captain, I don't know if it's the same captain from last time, but he wanted, it says here, he wanted to do the same thing as earlier. He's like, bitches, I don't got time to be going and looking for them like somewhere else. I gotta go get that coin from the Spanish people. So he wanted to leave and go and find those Spanish ships. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, fire this man. You have a job to like leave these people there. They're just I gotta go. You guys gotta figure it out.
They were just shameless back then. I know. There was no fucking rules.
But anyway, so John, like, he had no choice. He had to go with him because what? He's gonna stay there and like die?
Yeah.
That must have been so like.
Oh my god.
I'd be like, dude, I want to see my fucking daughter and grandchild. Like, it's been 3 years, you know. So because he's just at the mercy of this captain and the ship that wasn't his, you know. So yeah, they were there for weeks, like plundering, Spanish ships and like getting all the coins and treasures. And after that, like, they went back to England, and he had no choice.
Yeah,
he had no choice because it wasn't. You can't back. It's easy to say right now, like, oh well, I'd stay in a hotel and try to find, like, no, there was
that shit didn't exist back then.
You
like,
die, man.
Yeah,
they could barely even survive.
Yeah,
with a group. Imagine him staying by himself.
Yeah, that was impossible. Plus, like we said, not all the Native Americans were friendly. He could get attacked. That's why they had to take so many people in the first place.
Yeah, and with good reason they weren't friendly. Come on.
Yeah, no, we're not saying that. Yeah, I'd be like, bitch, get the fuck out.
And that was the last time that John ever even was in the New World, in America. He actually died 3 years later.
In Ireland. He moved to Ireland.
Ooh, isn't that you want to go? That's the
I don't know why. Ireland calls
ever
me.
Ever since she was little, she's been wanting to go there. Like,
yeah.
Don't know why, but
past lives, people, past lives.
So yeah, he died like never knowing like what
happened to them. I feel
daughter,
like probably that's why he died.
Yeah,
like it consumed him. Like, either way. I mean, there's theories of him doing like other stuff, but we can get into that.
You can say like, oh, like fuck it, like if he had gone with just like 100 plus people that he didn't really know and you never found out where they're at, like you could say, oh fuck, that sucks. But it's like his but it's his daughter
I didn't know,
and grandchild.
I would just want to die.
I know. So 20 years, it says, after the disappearance of the Roanoke colonists, England made like no attempts to look for them. Like, that's fucked up, like, okay, you wanted them to go so bad over there to like set up camp and like claim some land over there in England's name, and then you're not even gonna look for them when they're lost. That's fucked up. And then like sometimes random ships that were like around, they'd be like, oh, let me like see if they're there, like just check up real quick. But like nobody ever found anything. Like they never found them at all. In 1607, the English settled, which is now known as Jamestown, Virginia, that settlement. That's really like famous.
And that was from the guy named Francis Nelson. Yeah.
And
that was the first one to
like be successful.
To progress. Oh, okay, yeah. To progress.
There was like battles, like a lot of battles with the natives, and that let them know that like what had happened with Roanoke, the Roanoke colonists, was like not forgotten. Like the natives were like, we have not forgotten. Like they're just gonna like battle these English people all the time. Like that's pretty much like all the information that I have that I gathered. Would you like to go into some theories?
I guess. I mean, we kind of, some of my theories, you kind of got in them a little bit, so I'm gonna have to.
Should I jump in with one? See if you say that. See if you have this one.
Go ahead. I mean, I just started with my. I'm just saying, the first theory was about the Native Americans had something to do with it.
Right,
and then there's
right.
multiple things. Obviously previous settlers had already informed them that with reason the Native Americans could be hostile. So obviously that's, an option big or a theory that it was the Native Americans. But like we said, it's like there was no bodies or,
Yeah, you would think, there's blood on the trees or like something, Some of the new settlers, it says here, they believe that the Roanoke colonists were killed by Spanish soldiers, but even if they had been killed by the Spanish or even the natives, why was their village like carefully disassembled? Again, it just doesn't make sense.
And it was so many of them. They think that maybe that they could have divided into groups and try to get into some of the tribes, and maybe that's the reason why there was no killing or anything, because they since they had no food or anything, they try to be like, okay, we have to all separate,
assimilate with these people.
Try to get into tribes, but obviously some were nice, some were not so nice, and so maybe some of them stumbled upon not so nice ones, got killed somewhere else, because they had to travel to find other tribes, and maybe some of them were lucky and found nice tribes, which there seems to be proof that at least a few or some did actually colonize and mix with the Native Americans, because as we said, there was Jamestown, they progressed there, and so it started growing, and people that were living there now here in America, they have claims to actually, there was a man, that's who Francis Nelson was, from the Jamestown colony. He actually claimed in 1607 to have seen 2 fully clothed people amongst a Native American tribe.
This guy named William Strachey, I think his name is, of Jamestown, was told, go get tea, go get receipts, of where the Roanoke people went. Where'd they go, He was like Sherlock Holmes or something. And the local Native Americans told him, they spilled a little bit of tea, and they said that some, if not all, the colonists had survived and had gone with the Chesapeake natives. That's what he was told. And the ruler of the Virginia natives said that the colonists did join the Chesapeake natives, but that they had been killed in a battle. So it's like a game of telephone. It's just all, it's so much, you don't know what.
So much crisscross information. That's why it's such a big mystery to this day, and everybody's like, what?
Over the next century, explorers and colonists said that they saw native tribes living along the Carolina coast, and they reported seeing them live in, now look at this, in 2-story houses, and some even spoke English and had English names.
Yeah.
If that's true, I mean, that
actually,
may have been them, but who knows?
There's proof that, I think this is proof that obviously some of them did
survive.
Yeah, because they've seen Native Americans with gray eyes, and that's
blue eyes.
Well, I heard gray eyes.
I heard blue, but this is the same
probably
thing,
both.
And blonde hair, no?
I didn't hear about the blonde hair, but I'm sure, and that's impossible.
And that they practice Christianity.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but yeah. So, that's stuff that, Native American alone.
But it's again, it could be proof, but it's it could be just a legend or a tale. Who knows if it's true?
Actually, in 1888...
Picture it didn't happen.
Yeah. But, and I mean, this must be a fact, because I think it was down in the ethnological burrito of
burrito of Chipotle.
I'm talking half Spanish, half English, bitch. All right.
It's hard. Sorry, it's hard to memorize all these facts. That's why we just keep reading tidbits.
But
we keep reading it wrong.
In 1888, 54 Croatoan people, I don't know what they were considered, Native American, I guess, but they claimed that they were describing themselves. They petitioned Congress for aid, describing themselves as remnants of the whites from the lost colony. Yeah, so actual people, and it did go forth.
Oh.
And that's when the directors of the ethnical, what is it, burrito?
Burrow?
Yeah,
Bureau.
Fuck. They tested them and they said that.
Oh, DNA?
Yeah, they were.
Wait, in 1800 they have DNAs?
Well, whatever okay. It was so back in the day that it was not DNA, but they sampled their blood somehow, as well as they could in those days, and they did say that they did find traces.
It's red, and there was red too.
What?
They're probably like, your blood is red, and theirs was red too.
Probably no.
What else? They didn't have nothing. But anyway,
no, they must have had something, dude. It was almost 1900.
So what was it? What did they say?
Basically that there was traces of white blood in them, and some of them that went forth did have the gray eyes. Like they literally saw them.
I'm just saying that I don't know.
High-ranking people here in the United States, and they qualified for aid because they were half white.
Okay, but if the science is.
Yeah, because sometimes
legit, because they'll be like, "Oh, this white blood,"
Yeah, but I mean, to support those claims, there was I think it was a Canadian tourist. Did you get anything on the Canadian tourist and the stone?
No.
What a boo.
So what did Buddha? What did the
it was
Canadians say?
It was a Canadian. I'm so sorry, guys. I love Canada.
Okay, fan over here.
They're so nice. I hear that they're so nice.
I don't hate them. I'm just saying that.
Canada.
I like saying a boot. Is that a crime? Okay.
All right.
Anyways, what a boot?
It's a boot. Oh yeah.
Skater boot.
Okay. There was a stone found. Just know that after this stone, so many more stones have been found, but
stone?
They were the other ones are like frauds. They just I feel like people heard that guy found that stone, and then
you don't have to yell.
All of a sudden after that there was an epidemic of stone findings from the lost colony.
Freaking con artists just trying to get money, probably.
Yeah, but the first one is the one that they just have scientists and smart people have not been able to truly debunk, and it seems like it's dated back to them, real. Yeah, because the other ones seem to they've recreated them. You could tell they've been recreated by a drill.
God.
And back then they didn't have drills, of course.
Yeah.
So that the first one seems legit. It's not.
But I mean, anybody can take a rock and I don't know.
But it's been. It's been tested so much that so many people, it seems like to be more on the legit side. That first one, and it was from, I believe it was. Oh shit! Was it? I don't remember if it was from Eleanor, John White's daughter. Yeah, I think it was from Eleanor, John White's daughter, or it was from the granddaughter. It was from the daughter, because the granddaughter wouldn't have remembered that. She was a baby.
What about it?
She basically said that except for 7, mostly women and children, the rest they killed them.
Who said?
In the stone, it's written in back in the day terms, and it claims to be Eleanor White Dare.
Okay.
In the front, it had a cross, and then when you turn it over, it has how they used to talk back then. So it's kind of hard to understand, and you could barely see it. The guy had to send it to
God, I can barely
a university for scientists to to like remove
analyze it and shit. Oh yeah, restore it and all
that. And they said that type of stone would be the type of stone that back then they would have used so that they could be legible. It just basically said that they lived through a lot of torment, you know, obviously.
But it's like, where are you, bitch?
They didn't have, well, they killed most of them except for 7.
Cool. Where are you? Like, we're trying to know where you're at. Why can't they just carve where they're at? For fuck's sake.
Well, I think they were integrated in just different.
So say that. Carve it.
Listen, they were. She wrote it, but she didn't know where she was going.
Okay, but just be like, hey man, like we're going with these like the guys that like we saw before, and they're going up the hill or something. Like
no, they were taken like by force.
Okay, so. Okay.
Or some. Well,
did she write that?
Yeah, because she said that because they killed most of them. But
how'd she have time to carve shit like all that stuff?
Because things were going down before they left. Like they
it was
had
starting to brew.
Yeah, like the things we're going through. I should have written it down, but it was written in such weird terms. You could understand
like
it, but
experience.
Yes, like that. You know, like it was like horrible, dreadful times for them, and then that everybody was killed. I'm assuming since there was no bodies,
sounds like Trump's president.
They were probably taken inward, land somewhere, and close to the Roanoke colony, and maybe that's where she wrote it when she could, and they were the ones that were left were just integrated. I don't know if in different tribes and stuff, and that she had seen her mom and her dad get killed and everybody get killed.
Wait, but her mom and dad.
Oh, that's true. So then maybe it was the child. Yeah, it was probably the
Virginia.
Virginia, when she was older, she wrote it down years later, and she wrote in case she was calling for her dad. She was hoping her dad would find that rock was for her dad, telling him the suffrage they went through. And that, you know, she saw everybody get basically killed except for 7, and they were all integrated, and that's probably why, you know, there's mixed Native American
which leads me to this. I was on Reddit. It's a website. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. They probably have. And people on there, I'm not claiming this. Somebody wrote this. He said that he is it was like Lubin or I can't remember, and I apologize, but that he's part of this particular tribe or he's descendant of that tribe, and that he got DNA tested, and that he's like part like European or whatever. So he believes that he and other people, not just him, but he's just on there on Reddit, that he may be part of those like Roanoke people, because they, you know, he's like, I think he said he looked like white kind of, and whatever. Anyways, that's just something I read. I don't know how legit that is, but I just personally think they just try to integrate themselves, because it's like, hey, 3 years, they're like, you know what, might as well just try to live, man. I don't know, they're probably never gonna come. And hence, like,
I think they had to, because only 7, so according to the stone.
Right, but if the stone, I'm just saying,
if the stone isn't real,
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, somehow, whether it was a little bit of them or all of them, they're just like, dude, we just have to make the best of it, because I don't think they're coming. It's been 3 years. Like, let's just go with them. Like, maybe stuff got harsh there, and they're just like, dude, we gotta like go somewhere where it's like warmer. I don't know. I don't even know.
And actually, more recently, in 2015, 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago, archaeologists found in Hatteras Island, which what used to be, was it Roanoke or Croton? I think Croton. Hatteras. It's called Hatteras Island now. What used to be Croton. They found like artifacts of European origin, like things that the Native Americans
weren't typically making.
Yeah, like cups, war swords, like a high-ranking sword, a European sword.
But couldn't that have just been from like all the times that they were there? Like, what of it?
It looks like they were like, in the Native Americans,
or maybe they're saying that it's like from a bit later time than that. So they're saying like,
like they just.
But people.
It seemed like they lived there. They were Europeans were living there. Not to mention two-story houses, which Native Americans
But that was like
do.
elsewhere. Like
Another theory was that that inner area there was like water where it said that they think that maybe they had marked a spot in the map in case things went bad that they were gonna meet. And was it John White that made the maps?
I don't know anything about this.
He, after redoing the map, they saw that he did like invisible ink, he marked a spot but then covered it up because he didn't want people from Europe to, back then he had somehow to do it, I don't know, but
witches,
he didn't want
everything's ungodly.
He didn't want they think that maybe there was like spies in like Europe that would give them away.
Okay.
And so they were going to see the map. So he wanted to hide that part. But there was, now when they researchers look at it in the light, they saw that there was a space where he covered it up with like, and that was like maybe their meeting spot
where
in case things went bad. It was just inward land, inward, and there was an area. There was a marking. They looked like a fort. It looked like a fort. But it brings me to two other theories, which I'm just bringing them in just for fun. They're laughable. I don't believe this happened, but I'm just gonna say it because they're out there. I don't believe it. But supposedly one of them is aliens, which I do believe in aliens.
Yeah, but
I believe in aliens.
It's fun to believe that, but I just
But supposedly they think that perhaps there was a mass abduction.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
This is what makes people that believe in aliens look
stupid.
Bad.
Yes, because of stuff like this.
It's possible, but I feel like there's evidence of other things.
Yeah, and supposedly they think that maybe that marking wasn't a fort for them all to meet there in case.
It was like a crop circle?
That it was a spaceship landing for the spaceship to know where to land.
Okay, that's dumb.
And that they could go in there and take them. That's a theory. I don't believe it, but if you guys do, that's fine. Check it out. Let me know if there's more proof on that.
There's receipts on this. If there's anything, like, sure, I'll look into it, but I don't know.
And then the other one is, oh Lord,
this gets more dumb than that.
Yes.
What?
Zombies. That is just like there is no that
people are so obsessed with like stop it.
Yes, like no. Like, how is that even fun for you to be, like, catched out? Anyways, I'm not getting out of topic.
That is just stupid. I don't even... How could that even be brought up? Come on.
This Andre Freeman from the Zombie Research Society...
Shame on you.
...claims that...
Research Society?
...the undead plague left no man alive. But I'm like, even if that was true, where would be the last standing man?
Yeah, and
there would have to be one last standing zombie.
Yeah, or one last standing human who could tell the story of, like, there was zombies.
Well, if there was a zombie plague, they would have all been plagued.
Right, but either if they all ate, one had to survive and say the story.
Yeah, one person had to survive. Somebody can't eat somebody and then there's one person left who ate them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
Then when I read this, but then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Because I was going to say this. There was because you think it's stupid, but now a Harvard archaeologist, Lauren Steger, claims to have discovered like cannibalism, which is like, that's what I was gonna go towards too. I was like, if anything, it wasn't zombies. If anything, they went so hungry that the ones that started dying, they probably started eating them. If anything, but not zombie. Like, just pure human cannibalism.
I mean, the other ones ate the dog.
Yeah. So the Harvard person, Lawrence, like, that's what he's saying.
Oh,
you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what he's saying. Because when I heard like that a Harvard scholar or university archaeologist was like saying, kind of backing it up, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like you said, you lost all credibility. But he basically said it was more like cannibalism.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with zombies.
It has nothing to do with zombies at all.
But anyways, like, what, like, basically, what do you guys think happened? Like, definitely leave it in the comments because that's gonna be fun to read. Because some people probably did their own research. There's probably evidence or
I know, and
whatever.
like some people, like I tried to find like really like cool, weird theories. So if any of you guys have any of those, like we're totally interested.
Yeah.
I don't know, like these were the ones that we could find, and obviously, like they say, it was probably more than one of these things happening. It was like probably like plagues, hunger, Native Americans.
Yeah.
They moved away. It's probably like a combination of multiple things. God knows, you know.
I know. But anyway, that's the story of, the lost colony of Roanoke. Obviously, let us know what you guys think. And that's where we end it here. Can we make this a thing, our little outro?
What?
See you on the other
side.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Sorry, we're not at Cali Love anymore.
I gotta go. Okay.
Peace out.